I see the thing going up for my voice. Okay. That works. Now we gotta push this button. I need to load up the chat.
On your feet, everybody!
Twitch. Days. It just keeps saying sending data. It just keeps saying sending data. Well, welcome back to another episode of the best, worst show on the internet, hosted by you-know-who, that guy named Manuel Chavez III, or the Turd, depending on how you know him. And, yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on, but for whatever reason, my Twitch won't connect. Like, no matter what I do. Every time I try to connect with it or whatever, it isn't working. If I stream direct, it works just fine. But if I try to use Restream, shit ain't working no more. That's some weird shit, man. I don't know. Seems like it's a pretty strange situation. I mean, it's not like we really get any viewers over there anyway, but it's just a little bit weird that, we don't have anything in our account. It doesn't say that we're in trouble. It just doesn't work. I mean, I go to my appearance portal. It looks fine. There's no history. I mean, nothing in the creator dashboard. Nothing about the moderation. Tried to refresh the stream key, reconnect it. It just don't work. I mean, is it because I'm using the wrong, I thought that they took HVAC audio, video. Thought that was a thing. Yeah, I don't know. But I can show it to you. I mean, I'll show it to you. See? Look, check this out. It's weird. If I go into my stream thing or whatever, it says it right here. It just goes offline, unable to connect. It just won't connect. Like I turned it off right there. And I turn it on. The other ones are being weird too. Like it shows these ones are live, but then the Twitch one just doesn't work. But I didn't get like an email from Twitch or anything. I mean, we've had it for years. Like grandfathered in that we can mic stream. So yeah, dog. I don't really know what's happening there. I don't know what's going on with that situation, but it seems very strange or whatever. What if I just turn it off and then I add a different channel like Rumble or Kick? Yeah, Kick. We could do Kick. Can I even add Kick on this thing? Oh yeah, it does say Kick right there. Gotta do the OAuth, allow access. Access has been allowed. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. There's nobody here anyway, so I can do whatever the hell I want. This is my show. And then we'll get into the nonsense later. Okay. It added it. Okay. So then we hit the little switch or whatever. Let's see if that one works. We'll just pick it up right here. I flipped it. It says sending data. Sending data. It's connecting. Let's just see. Just says sending data. What is that all about? What is going on with that? See, look, unable to connect. Unable to connect. Enable ta conexión. La conexión no le work. Whatever. You know, it doesn't even matter because it is what it is. So, yeah, I've been trying to figure out what's been going on there, but that hasn't really worked. There hasn't really been any updates in that particular area. What else has been going on over here? Well, I mean, we've been playing a lot of Rust, that's for sure. We've been trying to practice for the big event or whatever. Thought everything was going very well. But ultimately, as always, we got cucked by the people that we're playing with for just pretty much speaking our minds and being the person that we are. You know, some people don't like to hear shit. And apparently they'll just kick you out of it. They're like, oh. So I don't know, man. All I know is that I was the perfect angel and I did everything that I needed to do. Made sure that I was playing and giving these people my time only to get treated like a fucking dog shit piece of shit by some people that have less money than me, that are less popular than me. Like, it's a weird situation. So it's whatever. I guess we'll still play in Global Warfare, but we're not going to be playing with the group that we thought we were going to be playing with. The group that we put all of our time and effort into, mind you. But then again, it's just like, whatever. We're just probably going to end up trying to join, but, you know, it's like the VIP situation in this whole thing. You know, it's supposed to be for charity, but they don't sell enough VIPs to generate much for charity, and their goal was $20,000, and they're not even close. So, like, they could have done a whole lot of things better, and people don't like hearing it from folks that actually have done better, which is weird. It's a weird situation to be. It's a weird situation to be in, to be perfectly frank. It's a weird situation to be frank. But it's whatever. I heard my boy Bud Satani's going to be playing, so we might link up with him finally in some big-ass event, if that's even going to be the case, or if that is even going to be going down. So I appreciate that shit. That's going to be a big one. The other thing to think about is that, damn, dude, just putting Fauci's name in the chat, or just putting Fauci's name in the actual thing could be the problem, right? Like, why the hell is that shit not connecting on Twitch or Kick? Like, what's going on there? Is that some like new censorship shit that I didn't know about or whatever? Is that like the machine doing machine shit? Because that's what it feels like. Because it works just fine on X. It works just fine everywhere else. And people wonder why I only focus on YouTube, because it's really the only platform that matters. Like, you know, you could be on the purple platform and have a lot of followers, but nobody's going to respect you in business until you have a lot of followers on YouTube, because that's just the way that the game works, right? And, I mean, let's talk about requirements, right? It's really funny to me because I did the averaging out looking at my thing, and they say you need to be able to at least getting 10,000 views a month to be considered a creator. And I get that, and I didn't even have to live stream for the last 6 months. So it's like, I think that we got the views or whatever. Oh no, they need to be in this particular area. They need to be in this particular game. But that's fine, whatever. Documentary's coming out pretty soon, and we're going to be back on top. And it'll be nice to hear about that. Well, I don't know. According to some people, like articles, let's see. Let's go look at our published articles. Yes, there we go. The published article. I wonder if I can just pull up the article itself. Yes, there we go. I can make it bigger. But yeah, been worried about our little stalkers or whatever. People with hundreds of thousands of more subscribers don't have to worry about stalkers like I do. But then again, they're pretty dumb, and to them, somebody being a stalker probably is just somebody disagreeing with you or something like that, because most of those folks are pretty weak little bitches, is if I want to say so myself. Speaking of weak bitches, I mean, we're gonna talk about weak bitches at least a little bit tonight. I mean, we got that weak dude Fauci. I mean, he went up and he did something. I mean, it seems like, maybe the plan is going to work for him. I don't know. We got Arturo deciding that he's going to be flip-flopping again, pretending that he cares. I don't know. The quartering apparently might actually lose his YouTube channel. I mean, I've looked into this before. I've been through that before too. So I understand exactly what the hell's going on over there in that situation. So we'll try to go through that a little bit. And then, yeah, Nick Rekieta apparently just took another really funny loss. So there's at least a few things that we can talk about tonight that are actually kind of cool. Either way, you just let me know. You speak up in the chat, send me what's going on in your life as well, and we'll just kind of try to figure out what the hell's going on. I mean, this is the main one, though. I mean, so Anthony Fauci had to go up in front of the United States government to answer for himself. As I remember it, Anthony Fauci was that guy that was protecting us from the COVID vaccine. Wonderful man. Just the best guy ever. Honestly, I don't know why people don't like him. I mean, he's the guy, right? He was the guy. He fixed it, dude. He solved the crises. He solved the Rona. He solved the AIDS. No. They're pissed at him. I mean, and by they, I mean the Republicans, maybe some people in Congress. I don't know who we're talking about. What's up, Grilled Salmon? Nice to see you, my friend. But yeah, Anthony motherfucking Fauci got up today, and he was talking to the government, and he fucking pled the fifth 111 times. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, 111. You know how many? That's a lot, bro. He didn't answer a single fucking question. This shit is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? The fucking balls on this guy. The stones, they just must be enormous, right? The balls you got to have to be like Fauci and get up there in front of Congress after you done been pardoned for many years, from 2014 to I think it was 2021. Any crimes, whatever, against the government, the people, federal. Biden said maybe with an auto pen, maybe not with an auto pen. I don't know. I know both sides. I just know that this whole entire bullshit is this shit is insane, bro. He didn't answer a question about anything in that entire time, and he's completely immune. He could have just told the fucking truth, and nothing will happen to him, and he still pled the fifth. Future investigations. Oh, okay. What's up, Mr. Blacksmith? Nice to see you out there, son. I mean, dude, this is wild shit, bro. I don't think a lot of people really understand how crazy it is. that this just happened in the United States of America. Like, he's fine. He can just say whatever. But they even asked him about stuff that happened before. And he pled the fifth on that one, too. And he was just like, yeah, I don't want to incriminate myself at all. Not one bit. I'm just going to plead the fucking fifth.
NIH for over 54 years.
This is the only thing that he actually said that was of anything of value.
Infectious disease.
And Mr. Blacksmith, I do not believe that Fauci stole your bike and your super sweet mask. He did not steal your bike. This guy don't need to steal your bike, dude. He probably got like an electric bike that, the government paid for or some shit.
Over that period, I proved that I believe in and respect the value of legitimate congressional oversight. In fact, I testified before and or briefed Senate and House Senate and House committees.
Got that all prepared thing
well
right in front of
over
him.
200 times over those.
He was already in the Senate, though, right? Like, isn't that where he was at? This isn't even a tribunal. It's like he ain't going to jail over this shit. That's not how any of this works. Well, you gotta be a goddamn dumbass.
However, given Senate,
but I don't disagree with you, Grilled Salmon. Fauci is definitely kind of pathetic, and he should answer for his crimes. However, it just seems that he's never going to answer for anything. He's just not going to answer any questions. Period.
Paul's obvious
he's just going to make statements and then say,
calling for my prosecution.
F you.
His repeated slanderous comments about me, and recently his publicly releasing my unredacted personal diary aimed at embarrassing and intimidating me, the only conclusion I can reach.
Yo, you guys released his diary and you're pissed off, but I feel like the last time somebody's diary got released, it was another person and you guys were pissed off. Wasn't that the daughter of Joe Biden? What was it, that diary? Oh, yeah, it was terrible shit or whatever. Real horrible shit. Taking showers. We're just taking showers, guys. Yeah. Full pleads the fifth. Meanwhile, he's pardoned. I mean, is that illegal? We'll probably have to look into that. I don't know what the legality is over that or whatever. I just passed the bar for fun because I'm smart. But let me tell you, being smart, not a fucking friendly thing, because stupid people, they treat you like shit. Doesn't matter what good you do or how much work you put in, they're just gonna fuck you anyway because that's just the kind of people they are. So I can't wait till you try to use them connects and you start seeing the doors closing in front of your face, because you may not think that I have any clout, but in fact, I have more clout than you, and I will quietly tell people, and you will quietly have problems, and you'll not know why. So you see me high-fiving them, and then you'll know why. Anyways.
Is that the sole reason
for somebody
he is calling me before this committee is to get me to say something, anything, that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up, in his words, quote, behind bars, unquote. Any reasonable person who has followed his unhinged obsession with me would readily come to the same conclusion. Therefore, although it pains me to do so, because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you.
Yep, that's exactly what he did. That's what he did. He said, I plead the fifth. He was like Dave Chappelle in that one skit he does that was funny as fuck. He was just like, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. Yeah, okay. It's like, dude, bad grandpa, you're right. You're right, Tweety Bird. He is a bad grandpa. Grilled Salmon, we will never get the truth from all of this Rona chaos from 2020. Yeah, we're never going to get the truth, dude. I don't think, like, Why did you think that we would get the truth? Like, about what about me streaming for years and years and years telling you the truth makes you think that we're ever going to get the truth on anything? Like, they took us out for telling the truth. The truth is dangerous. We live in a post-truth world. It's not about whether you're right or wrong. It's all about the optics in what you do. It doesn't matter where you go. And if somebody doesn't like you or somebody has a problem with something, they're going to make it a problem. But then everybody forgets about the third wheel in the whole thing. The actual robot that's in control of all of the shit, you know, the AI or whatever. That's the real fucking problem. Because it's not worried about what you're posting. It's worried about how long you're staying when you're scrolling. You know what I mean? It's building a psychometric profile on exactly who you are, and it's only taking in certain types of data so that it can basically manipulate you, because that's where we are. It's not about the work you do. It's about who you know and how well who you know can help you manipulate the future moving forward. That's what we've always been. Even during the election nonsense and the diseases and the viruses and all of that crap, everything that we saw happening during that time is exactly what was going on in 2017 and 2016. It's just an ever expanding loop. And I don't think that people are seeing it. It's like, who told him that this was going to be a good idea to just plead the fifth? Like, who really thought that that was the move? That was his lawyer's thought. He got up there 111 times, said nothing, right? Even though we already know many of the things that have been going on, he just refused to answer any questions, even if he already has immunity. Right? He already had that immunity, and that's it. So let's just use Google. So Dr. Anthony Fauci pled the Fifth Amendment many times today. Why do you think did he do that? Was he trying to protect himself in some way? Because he had already had to worry about, or at least not have to worry about, anything, because he's already got the pardon for pretty much any of the stuff. So we'll ask the robot and see what the robot's gonna do. J.R. Riggs, Tron 5th. Tron 5th? What? Tron 5th? The Tron, I think that's something. What's up, Tweety Bird? Okay, Republicans ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, dude, nothing ever fucking happens, dude. Nobody ever does shit. The only time anything ever happens is because fuck the Fango. That's the only thing that ever happens. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Fuck him. Fuck that fat fuck. But yeah, legal experts pointed that the Fifth Amendment today hearing, despite his prior presidential pardon, retroactive pardons do not cover new testimony, because President Biden issued Fauci a preemptive pardon in January of 2025 covering any potential offenses between 2014 and 2025. However, that pardon is purely retroactive. It provides zero legal protection for future conduct. Right? Yep. So even if he got pardoned for all of the stuff that he did, if he said the wrong thing or got in the wrong way, that's just basically a fishing expedition in his eyes. And I mean, is he wrong when he says that it's that? No, that's exactly kind of what they were doing today. I mean, look, fight fire with fire, looking at both sides. I mean, that's what he was doing today. He just looked at him and he said, yeah, fuck you. I'm not going to say shit because, you know what? I don't know what you're going to do, but you're trying to throw me into jail, and I ain't trying to go to jail. I mean, he seems to truly believe that he is not the bad guy, even though, you know, we've all been basically hit with a veritable shitload. You know, everything that anybody said online, I mean, I'm sure he's probably looked at it, or at least some of it, and been appalled. But at the same time, Like, it's not like this guy was not public enemy number one, not from the government, but from a whole group of people. And I mean, you could say it was the Q people, you could say it was right wingers, but the reality was it was fucking everybody. There was just a lot of motherfuckers that were saying shit. Okay, like, let's just be real. There was a lot of people saying a lot of stuff. So, do I fault him? No, I think it was the move for him. Right? It's the only move that he could make. It's the only move that I think that he could take. But at the end of the day, like, is he risking entrapment for his prosecution? Probably. Like, makes a whole lot of sense. If he was to testify under oath that lawmakers allege any part of his testimony was false or contradicted past statements, documents, such as his recently released personal diaries, he could have been charged with perjury or making false statements to Congress, and that part isn't going to shield him. So, obviously he's got some kind of sound legal defense there in some kind of way. And, I mean, in his opening statement, Fauci basically calls the committee by Chairman Ron Paul and his other lawmakers, saying that they want criminal prosecutions, and he said he had under the advice of attorney that he can't say anything. And I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, he should have been up there. I mean, people want to see this guy go to jail. I want to see this guy go to jail, right? Like, this guy, in my opinion, he's done a lot more bad than he's done good. And, like, we've seen that happen. But the same thing can be said about Donald Trump and Joe Biden and still be correct, right? Because I'm not trying to be playing this right versus left game. I've always talked about it's like the whole bird. And if you're a First Nations people or Native American, it's more like right now somebody's cooking up a real nice stew, a Turtle Island stew. That's what's happening. They're cooking this motherfucker from the inside out, right? Everybody's worried about water and all this other shit, but obviously pleading the fifth ain't gonna help his ass, right? And I mean, what's the other side of things? What's the other side of things in this whole situation? And I think the other side of things in this whole situation is probably kind of in the same realm of the fact that doesn't he get immunity, right? Like, it's weird, though, because they asked him about questions that didn't involve that, and he still pled the fifth on those questions. That was one of the main things that I had seen that was a strange one, because, like, why the fuck would you just not answer the questions? Like, even basic-ass questions, like, dude, like, what? You're not answering shit, ma? You ain't answering shit, bro? Like, let's just see if we can find a couple of them here on this.
I've got the studies right here.
Like, look at this.
There was a website that was tracking the random controlled studies. Here they are.
The random controlled study. Which website was that, you think? Was it the VAERS website?
The same day you say there's no evidence.
Anybody in the chat know?
All kinds of evidence.
No.
Loved ones had to go to hospitals, had to sue hospitals. Just, would you try it?
Would you try it?
So I want to know, to what extent were you involved in sabotaging hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and did you do that because you knew the only way you get emergency use authorization
asking a leading edge question. Holy shit!
Experimental gene therapy was if there was no effective treatment.
COV-19 ivermectin studies, July 2026, C19early.org.
You couldn't get the emergency use authorization. So is that why you helped sabotage these cheap generic drugs in favor of remdesivir, which, by the way, nurses, are you aware of the fact that nurses called it run, death is near?
Run, death is near?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
Like, what's the point? Like, I guess you can't make him talk, right? No matter how much people would like, but like,
what day of the week
this is insane, bro. What day of the week is it?
On the advice of counsel.
What the fuck? You can say what day it is today. You could be like, it's Wednesday. Like, how are you gonna fuck that up? Like, how are they gonna get you on that? That's why it's ridiculous. Like, this is making a mockery of the court. I mean, this has got to be like some kind of fucking thing, dude. Like, seriously, like, you literally sat up there. They asked you what today was, and you said, "I plead the fifth because fuck
I
you."
respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
It's right
On the
there.
advice of counsel,
I actually can't tell. It's like green and black with like a weird pattern on it. Wait, what is that? Like houndstooth or something? Tweety Bird. CNN's photo of Joe Rogan made him look green and half dead when he took it. Yeah, that makes sense. They really did make him look like he was going to die when he took it. But they were saying that he was going to die, and it's like Joe Rogan. Like, dude, that dude's like a roach, man. He ain't going nowhere, dude. How old is he now, dude? He started on Fear Factor and shit, making people do ridiculous shit. And now he's like old as fuck. He's got guns and shit, and he's talking about wild shit, eating like fucking bear meat and shit. That guy's not going to die. He's going to be like 110 years old and be looking at everybody. He's like, welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast, you know? Smoking weed with like, well, let's be real. Alex Jones probably not going to make it that far.
respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
What color is the carpet in front of you? He's going to make him say
counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What day of the week is it today?
Like, seriously, bro? Are you for real right now? You're just not going to answer shit? What's this?
I testified before and or briefed.
PSYOP? Is this PSYOP anime? Like, who makes this shit?
Senate and House.
What is this life now, dude? I don't get it, bro. Like, this shit is nuts, man.
Well,
like, not only is it wild as fuck to see it irregular within a day, it's already a fucking anime. Like, how does that fuck?
Over 200
What is going on right now? Like, what are we living in, dude? What kind of world is this? This is a crazy
times.
Wow. What is this? They said it was horse tranquilizers. Isn't that horse tranquilizers or ketamine? Right? That's what that is. Ivermectin is a dewormer for horses. Mr. Blacksmith has said, I cannot answer whether I'm present or not. Dude, don't you start doing that shit.
Over those 38 years. During and after the COVID pandemic, I have appeared multiple times for hearings in the Senate and the House, usually under oath, and sat for several days-long transcribed sworn interviews, answering questions.
However, that does not look like him at all, dude. Like, seriously, PSYOP anime, this is what you think he looks like? Nah, bro, you could have done better. Whoever you is. Robot, you could have done better. I know you're listening to me. I know you don't care what I say. You just care about the inflation and the amount of, gain settings and the waveforms or whatever. I don't give a fuck. But seriously, you could have done way better. I want to see better out of your ass. Like, motherfucker, I couldn't do better, but I'm going to tell you to do better because you know what? Fuck you.
Questions about the very issues that are now the subject.
Like, really? PSYOP anime? I mean, it hasn't even been, like...
I testified before...
When did they post this shit? When did they post this? I don't even know. Whatever.
Everything from harassments by...
Who's this guy?
Emails, texts, letters of myself, my wife, my 3 daughters. There have been credible death threats leading to the arrests of 2 individuals, and credible death threats mean someone who clearly was on their way.
You think that looks like Charles Ortel? Charles Ortel. Who the fuck is that? If that name sounds familiar. Oh, wow, it does. Whoa, shit. Hold up. Yeah, that really does kind of actually look like Ortel. Yeah, dude. What's that all about? Seriously? Yeah, that's weird. It does kind of look like Charles Ortel. Why would they think that Charles Ortel and Anthony Fauci? Maybe it's just like the AI. It's a black box. I don't know how that shit works, dude. But okay. I see what you mean down there. I see what you mean.
I testified before.
Everything from harassment. There have been credible death threats leading to the arrests of 2 individuals, and credible.
Like, seriously?
Death threats mean someone who clearly was on their way to kill me. And it's required my having protective services essentially all the time. It is very troublesome to me. It is much more.
Yeah, I know it was the anime guy, Mr. Grilled Seaman. Laura Ingraham was behind him pulling faces? That doesn't look like Laura Ingraham. Is there another video? That looks like some other guy, like, making crime faces. While this dude's like, oh, people were trying to come to my house and murder me. That sucks. It's real bad. And shit. My bad.
You don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich. While people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes.
Hold your horses. Isn't Ortella a George Webb crony? Maybe. I mean, that shit for me, I have stopped looking at George Webb like years ago, bro. I don't keep up with him. It definitely sounds like somebody, because I feel like Charles Ortel, George Webb, Jason Goodman, all those people kind of like, they do the same thing. Just one guy's Jewish, one guy's Polish, part of the Khazarian Mafia. Yeah. Josh Hawley is Trey Gowdy 2.0. Okay, I could see that. I mean, shock it all, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I agree with you there on that one, Tweety Bird. Mr. Blacksmith says he got Seth rich. What? Is that Charles Ortel was part of that? They never got him, dude. People are still talking about that Seth rich shit. I mean, just today, Mike Ben Cyber was talking about that shit, trying to be all like, oh, look. They were creating kill chains around this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, some wild bullshit, dude, that they be talking about.
Prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here, right over my shoulder. Volker says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the...
Nice. Big ass whiteboard. I still don't get it, though. Like, why don't they just have a blank whiteboard and a projector with like a laser projector that's really bright, and then they just laser project it onto the board so they don't have to keep putting up. I mean, how much money do they spend on making big shit like this? A lot. Like, wouldn't it be dope if they just had like a projector phone that they could project up onto it or whatever? Like, why don't we do this kind of shit? Yeah, dude. I don't know. What's up, Yobi? Wax the Vaxxers. Jesus Christ, man. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do you mean? Anyways, hold your horses. Josh Hawley is the type of guy that scare you outside for 3 a.m. for a fix your fence, because as a neighbor, it annoys him. I mean, at 3 a.m.? I mean, I could see it if it was like 8 a.m. or whatever, but like 3 a.m.? Why would he be up at 3 a.m.? Are you trying to say he's like a vampire or something? He's going to come suck your blood? Right.
The COVID part, do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash.
Down. Imagine having to say that 111 times. Like, You think that he would have just been like, they would have asked him, what were they trying to do? Like, get him to not say it? Because I feel like he wasn't going to not say it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just wild, bro. Like, I can't believe this is real life, but it is real life. This is just how it goes now. Everything is fake and gay and stupid. But, I mean, what can you really say, dude? Mr. Blacksmith says, look at the chick's face underneath the sign. This chick, she looks like she's
$900,000.
She looks like she's fucking spying on people and shit. She's like, who the fuck said that?
Cash award.
Is she right?
And he got it because he used federal.
She like typing on her phone really fucking fast. Like, what's going on?
Employees to get it, and
no, but she crossed the arms. She's crossing the arms. She just doesn't look like she want to be there.
This wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci?
She's like, this is a waste of my time. Fuck all of you.
In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder.
What about this guy right here, dude? This guy's the one. Is he the sign maker guy, dude? Like, he just... Did they rehearse this in this motherfucker's office? Is there like a cue that they have, like some unspoken thing where they just lift that up? I don't know. I got a lot of questions, bro. I got a lot of questions, dude. I haven't been able to ask a lot of questions. I've just been staying quiet and trying to be cool or whatever. Oh.
Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service. You've got the Adelson Prize. You've got the Smithsonian Award. You've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award. You got the CDC.
Damn, dog, rub his dick some more shit.
Foundation. In fact, you turned your staff into a full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I'd qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you...
Damn, son. Greg Folkers, Lawrence Tabak. That one sounds familiar. Holly Jaffe? Yeah, whatever. Patricia Conrad. That one sounds familiar. Courtney Billett, Lewis Miller, Catherine Miller. That one sounds real familiar, too. And then Hugh Actionoklos. Chinokos. Yep. No fucking idea. No fucking
You use federal employees so that you...
Might as well just be like...
You could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money. That's right. We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time using federal resources being paid with federal dollars are soliciting.
Damn, son, dude. Okay, that's a good one. I'm not even gonna lie. They have the email shadowed out in the back with the nice like blurb up at the front. You got the fucking guy with the glasses
and cash for you, and then they're turning around and saying to the agency, "We don't want just an answer. We want to get to yes because Fauci wants the money."
Yeah, Fauci wants the money. Now, isn't that right, Fauci? I plead the Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. I mean, it just... Shit is wild, bro. Like, I can't believe this is... I mean, I have to believe it's real life. I have to believe it's real life because Fox News is reporting it was 111 times that this guy just came up and was like, I plead the Fifth. I plead it. I plead it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So, Republicans have also argued that former President Joe Biden's blanket pardon would not protect Fauci if he lied to Congress. After hours of stonewalling, Paul announced the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Committee will vote next week on a resolution to hold Fauci in contempt of Congress, arguing the pardon means he cannot invoke the Fifth Amendment for matters covered by it. Interesting. So that's the big game right there. That's what they really want. What do you think? I think that's seems about right. Actually, Yickum24, nice to see you. Hey, Oz, gotta chill in the background tonight, like COVID and Fauci. So chill, just like 111 times. That is the chillest thing. I mean, I'm on late or whatever, but that's just because plans have changed. So, I mean, I still gotta go to work tomorrow and shit. It's just probably gonna be stuck in queue for hours, maybe. So that's going to be fine, but at the end of the day, am I going to be stuck in queue for hours to just play by myself and get murdered by thousands of people? Yeah, probably. Sounds like it's really fun. Damn, I really wish all that work that I did to be on a team was appreciated, but apparently it's not. Oh, well, I guess that's what happens when you have documentaries and you're in a TV show and you used to say, yeah, I just think it's weird. He said that he told this guy that, you need to have X, Y, and Z, and he's cool. But no, apparently there's different requirements for me.
I lied and millions died.
Obviously,
President Autopen gave me a pardon, so I plead the Fifth.
With AI. So yeah, that's what most people, I believe, were thinking that he was actually saying. I mean, look at some of these things. This is pretty fucking creepy. That's a little creepy there, Fitter Steve, Tater Bug 2112, People Magazine, Anthony Fauci, the most prolific serial killer of all time. Wow. Executive grant of clemency, Joseph R. Biden, President of the United States of America, to whom it may concern, shall come greeting. Be it known that this day I, Joseph R. Biden, President of the United States, pursuant to my power under Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the United States Constitution, have granted unto Dr. Anthony Fauci a full and unconditional pardon for any offenses against the United States she may have committed or take part of from January 1st, 2014 through the date of this pardon arising out of the matter related to his service as the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, as a member of the White House task force and the White House response team, as well as the chief medical advisor to the president. In the testimony whereof I hereunto sign my name and cause the seal of the Department of Justice to be affixed. Done at the city of Washington this 19th of January in the year of our Lord 2025 and of the independence of the United States 249th. Wow. Yeah. Joseph Biden. So, there's that pardon for you. I mean, apparently he needed a pardon. This is a pretty big stocking point, I feel like, for a lot of people, because originally, like, if you were a really good doctor and you were, like, helping everybody or whatever, why did you need a pardon in the first place? That's what I just don't get about the whole thing. This part never made sense to me because I'm like, are they going to try to send him to jail? Okay, but, like the Roni thing happened in like 2019, 2020, 2021. Why are we going all the way back to 2014? What are we not looking up? Is there something like metabiota or something like that? I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the past, but obviously don't want to get too deep into it, because you know what happens when you get a little too deep into something like that. You get nuked. That's what happens. So you gotta be clear. You gotta be safe. You gotta be stronger. You gotta be bad. Gotta be hot. Gotta be stronger. Yeah, here. Oh wait, what's this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for taking
well,
the
nothing
fifth.
says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc?
Yeah, dude.
Let's try something.
Nothing.
What day of the week is it today?
What day of the week is it today? Huh? What is it? It's Wednesday. Isn't it Wednesday? You know what? I've been trying to figure out. When I click my little clock down here, this shit don't work. But yeah, my phone says that it's Wednesday still. So we're good. We're good. We're good. What you got here? Grilled salmon. I bet all those earlier videos in 2020 of dead people laying in Wuhan and trains in the streets were all fake. What? That's crazy. I don't know, man. Seemed like that was pretty real because, like, they created, like, those things to drive around outside to, like, purify the air or some shit or whatever. Remember that shit? I mean, if that was all fugazi, I don't really even know what to say at this point. Like, you don't know what to believe. It was obviously not AI generated. It was, if it was actors or something like that, that's crazy. But like, you're doing too much. Yeah, what's this? Toadie's Diary. During this time is the name. Wait, the first alarm went straight to Fauci on January 31st. Jeremy Fowler patched him into a call with Christian Anderson. Eddie Holmes was already in the loop. They were not trading internet rumors. They were staring at Fury and Cleavage site and discussing deliberate insertion and weighing whether a virus had escaped from the laboratory before Americans knew the origins and the debate. Yikes. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they released his diary and the diary has all that stuff in there, it almost just kind of makes it like a whole show, right? Like if he's got all this stuff that he wrote down with words on paper with like a pen or pencil, like, isn't that supposedly good enough to take somebody to court and do it? I feel like people have gone to murder trials and have confessed to shit and have gone to court for it and have lost because of what they've written in their diary or the contents of their phone calls or, you know, whatever they said in their live stream. So, like, it makes not a lot of sense that this would be here. But, you know, as we're going through this, it's kind of seems like, you know, X has some pretty one-sided coverage. Maybe it's because it knows what my proclivities are. It really just stands to reason that it's pretty insane. You know, who's this guy?
It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the f*** do you think you were for doing that?
Yep.
It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. I will make it my mission to make certain that every single one of those Democrats who did that will see that clip over and over and over again.
Damn, bro. He looks like he's about to cry. I mean, is he going to cry? Probably not. But he looks like he's about to. Look at them eyes, bro. He's like... Yeah, nobody knows why.
There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace.
Disgrace. I mean, damn, that's a Democrat? Who is this dude? I like him. He fucking, Dr. Anthony Fauci invokes the Fifth Amendment. Yeah, wait, it doesn't tell me who this is, though. Who the fuck is this? Yeah. Bernie Moreno. Bernie Moreno went to bat, sold his businesses, became a public servant just so that he could sit up there today and tell this guy that he was a disgrace, which, I mean, I don't know if you're wrong. I don't know if that's wrong. Reading all that diary shit. Like, shit, dude. Like, really? Fauci Diary. Beep. Yes, the revelatory cringe of Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci let loose on infinite lying Trump in diary. The Fauci Diary. Like, wow. Yes, in late July 2026, Senator Rand Paul released over 1,100 pages of Dr. Anthony Fauci's personal pandemic diary. The entries in the document, Fauci's private frustrations in the Trump administration and eerie thoughts into the origins of the Rona. Yeah. Gotta think, dude. Gotta think. To read this story, I gotta sign in. Can you believe that shit? Why is it pink? Obviously, that's not the real diary. That would be hilarious if that was the real diary. Yeah. Grilled salmon. Oh, that's a Senator Moreno of Ohio? A good speaker? Yeah, he does seem like he's a fairly good speaker. Seems like his oration skills do not need very much work. He seems like he's a fairly good orator, as it were. But yes, we're all born with an ego. From the baby's first cry to our death, most can control their ego, protecting themselves from harm, others from harm. But not Anthony Fauci, man, dude. His ego just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. He once said, "I represent science. I am science." That testimony of self-importance is also reflected in his claim to be an international celebrity. He loved taking his picture and getting his picture taken with celebrities like Barbra Streisand. He claimed to have appeared before Congress more than anyone else, and his favorite TV show was the one hosted by Rachel Maddow on the left-wing MSNBC. Rebounded to MS Now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I want to just see the straight pages. So, like, where do we have to go to actually see that or whatever? I mean, I guess we could look at the AP News and see what the major takeaways are, but nobody really knows. What's up, bitch Candiano? Nice to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Remember, that guy's somebody, and he comes to this nobody's chat. Gotta love that shit. Hell yeah. You know why, though? Because I might actually have good takes and be smart. I don't know. Yeah, but that was the other thing, right? They released this diary after they did that before, right? Yeah, they did that before. Let's see, if I put in pages, maybe we'll get it. Fauci diary pages. Yes. Did we get it? Is it there? Do you see it? No? Nope, I don't see it. Yep, 4 things at the reveal. Wait, what's this? Wow. Okay, let's see if we can find something here what they reveal. Oh, the origins of that virus thing that happened that we're not allowed to talk about that totally was real and everybody died. It was real bad. You know, it's a virus. It's a virus. In 2021, he said he faced patronage from the right, specifically from Paul, but said it was molecularly impossible that the funds of the United States gave to the Wuhan lab. Ooh. In August of that year, he also represented a reference to House Republicans that if his continued push of that idea, the lab leak that caused it, that was bad. And it was not based on new information or data. They just kind of like said it. And he said the accusations stem from the big lie about Trump winning the election, despite his loss in the popular vote in the Electoral College. Yep. Next, discredit Fauci. It looks like Trump is telling the truth. I mean, it's just really weird. Didn't Trump appoint this guy? Like, that's the funny thing I think about all of this that people forget. It's like, this was Trump's guy. Right? It was Trump's guy in the beginning. He was backing it up, and then the Biden administration happened, and everything just apparently got all fucked up. Right? Operation Warp Speed, wasn't it? Oh, wow. It knew exactly what I was going to look up. But yes, Operation Warp Speed was the U.S. government's private partnership launched in May of 2020 by the Trump administration to accelerate the vaccine development and manufacturing and distribution, partnered with the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Defense and pharmaceutical companies. Yes, that happened. It was a real thing. That's where we got all of these, beautiful vaccines. They're just great. They're beautiful vaccines. We love them. That's Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's doing such a great job. You remember all that shit? Yeah. Thanks, Mitch Candiano. We're all somebody. You're right. Some of us are just more important than others, apparently. I don't know. I just work here or whatever. I just live here. I don't know for how long or whatever, but I'm here. We're here. We're queer. Let's go. Right. I'm never doing that again. Somebody clip that, please. That's just fucking hilarious. Yeah. So, I mean, I hate getting into this shit, dude. Like, but it's just so topical to think about because, I mean, this is like 6 years ago. You know, when we talk about cicada, right? That shit was 9 years ago, motherfucker. 9 years ago, right? And when all of this was going out, they were making a movie about what we did. You remember that shit? I do. And then 6 years later, all of a sudden, we're doing this shit again, which is just really crazy when you really think about it, dude. Like, this is some nutty-ass shit where we're going with this, because it went from one side being really good with them to all of a sudden Fauci just doing his fame drive. People are dropping dead left and right from the most deadly virus that ever hit humanity that was most definitely not a cold or some shit. I mean, just wild shit, dude. It's wild shit. It's the wildest shit. This is just one of the craziest things that I've ever had to be exposed to, right? And I think that we've all been exposed to it because everything about the whole Fauci story screams psyop from every fucking side, right? Nobody is being truthful about what they got. All you can really do is look into the paperwork that they wrote down, and that can't even be trusted for the most part because it's not going to contain all of the information. And then we got the people that we want to get the information for just not giving any information at all because they're too afraid that something's going to happen to them, and we're just in this like ridiculous cycle where nobody's ever going to figure out whether we're right or we're wrong or who's right or who's wrong. It's just like, it's all the clown show, dude. Yeah, that's right. That's when I started watching. Exactly, dude. Like, well, think about this shit, dude. Like, when I started watching this, we were doing crazy shit. We were way bigger than we used to. We were way bigger. They nuked us, right? And even more so, it's like, I never did this for fame or fortune. I did this because it was my dream to be one of the top dogs because I believe I'm one of the only ones that's going to do it right. But then I've realized, throughout my endeavors, because I've been doing this live streaming shit longer than most of these people who've been alive these days. And you got to think that, like it comes with its ups and downs. Sometimes you're on the top, you go away for a little bit, you're back on the bottom, you move back onto the top. There's an ebb and flow to everything. But in this situation, it's just like been nonstop, bro. It was nonstop censorship and fucking AI censorship at that. Like, that's the crazy thing, right? It's just censorship, dude. Like, they literally were censoring people. I don't think people really understand how crazy it is to really think about it. I mean, I try to look into it and be real with people, but like, I don't even think that they truly understand that, like, this AI shit is nuts, dude. This AI shit is nuts. Like, there was a guy that I've been talking to or whatever. We had showed an email from him, Mr. Harry or whatever. And one of the things that I actually had to tell him or whatever, let me copy this real quick. Well, actually, no, I need to do this. I gotta make it bigger. Yeah. It makes me go into that crazy email that we got. So we found out that guy that we got the crazy email from is actually a real fucking person, right? He's a real person, and he actually has a real YouTube channel. Can you believe that shit? I assure you, I am a real person. Yeah, this dude is apparently a real person. So, like, you got real something. Yeah, I am the real Harry Katz. Yeah, but anyways, I went through, and we actually did find it when we were looking for him or whatever. So I'm going to pop off into this because I think it's important. So I'm going to search for it. Yeah, this one right here. He actually is a YouTuber, interestingly enough. Didn't think, like, that's how wild this is. Some random YouTuber be emailing me about shit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a psyop. That's for sure, grilled salmon. Hold your horses. This is some nutty ass shit coming. I wanted to say something to every boss I've ever had. Yeah, I'm the guy that will say some shit to a boss and get fired and then not have to work at that place anymore. But like at this point, it's just like, what's the point? What's the point? Yeah, dude, I had like high hopes. I thought we were gonna do some real good shit, and then I got fucked again by a group of people that apparently don't give a shit about you, don't care about what you do. They're just gonna not like that you're cooler than them, literally, and kick you out. Like, that's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So that's fine. It's fine. I put the fucking message out already. Y'all are gonna start noticing that restaurants don't be liking you anymore, and the regular people are giving you an upturned look. It's because you fuck with one of us. You don't fuck with us. We're worse than the mafia, and you did it anyway. So I remember that, but it's not really me remembering that you got to worry about. It's them. They're pissed because they were looking forward to this, and you took it away from them, all because you have an ego. But that has nothing to do with hairy cats. Yeah. Well, thanks, Grilled Salmon. I have been consistent for the past 10 years. I'm actually one of the most consistent people. I haven't been consistently posting because, like, it's hard to get back into the groove of things and try to do it. I mean, it's difficult, right? Like, how many times have we gotten up to only have it ripped away from us? Too many times. And it just happens faster and faster through no fault of our own. You said a thing that I didn't like. That's not the optics that we want from people, because we're a fucking bunch of fags. Okay, cool, man. Cool, bro. But anyways, this guy is literally a YouTuber. He's got 33 videos, 1.15 on the thing. I'm going to go ahead and share his link out there because I feel like you guys should have that or whatever. Good old hairy cats. I mean, I appreciate this dude. But he actually makes the same kind of videos and stuff that I do. He talks about conspiracy theories and shit. I mean, sure, the last thing he posted was 7 months ago, but he seemed like he was pretty accurate and up there. I've been reading into this stuff. This guy's like a smart dude. I mean, somebody in the vein of stuff that I look into tries to not really embed himself into things, but probably seemingly always finds himself connected to stuff that he wouldn't have ever believed. When I was talking to him about this stuff, I keep trying to explain it. Right? Like, this is stuff like me explaining to him about me and what's going on with Thomas Schoenberger and the cult of Sophia and the vampires and the Count Saint Germain and the Armageddon Onlines and how, like, this stuff rocks up. But I've gotten into a lot more with it lately because I feel like this guy is, he's on to something, but at the same time, I feel like he's kind of missing the mark on some things in a really important way. Like, did I feed it in here? Yeah, I think I did, actually. No. There we go. I had him. I sent him. I had the AI help me draft an email because we've been going through. And I was telling him, and I was like, your extinction is right, but I think you have a problem because he has this idea of how the internet works. And I feel like you guys should understand what I'm trying to talk about, too, because it's hard to explain. I'm not trying to show all of his emails or whatever, but I want more people to know and try to understand this because he was telling me about mimetic warfare and how he wanted to create a new project. And, I think it's really interesting because I think it could work, right? You just log off and you delete all your accounts and you disappear forever, stop feeding the system. But that's just not going to work because, like, we don't live in that world anymore. This is not the year 2000 at all, way farther in the future. And I appreciate you sharing this and I get what you're going for. The instinction is right, but the execution has a problem, though, and I think you already know what it is. The data is already gone. Not gone as in deleted, but gone as in left the building years ago. The moment you posted anything on any of these platforms, it was ingested, molded, sold, replicated across data broker networks, and you have zero visibility into. Deleting your posts does not delete the psychometric model they built from your behavior. The model is the product. The posts were just the raw material. So the Dead Signal campaign is just asking people to close the door that has been open for a decade in a house that's already been photographed from every angle. That part right there is what you got to really think about, because I've been thinking about this stuff for quite a long time. I don't think anybody else has, but I feel like it's necessary for me to come through and start talking about this because nobody else is going to. And that's because all of these social media platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, fucking Twitter, whatever, social media in general, every single one of them has models that are creating and that are analyzing everything that you post and do. But to the model, it's more important on what you do and not just what you post. See, YouTube is one of those ones that cares about what you do and cares about what you post. But some of the other ones, like especially the ones that are on your phone, are gathering that data from you, and it's like looking at it. What's up, Chase Bell? Nice to see you, man. AI Truman Show, I like to call it. You're right. That's exactly right. That is a perfect way of explaining it. Every single one of us is on the Truman Show. What's what we don't get, and it goes even farther with the fact that there's all these flock cameras that are being put up everywhere. What do you think that they're doing, right? They're monitoring you and tracking you using AI to track where you're going, your exits, your entrances, whatever. But essentially, they're giving the AI this viewpoint into the world that, just never existed before. And I mean, I keep pushing back to it, but there was always this really great show that really dives into this show was so prescient, person of interest. Like, it's from 2011, and in 2011 they were having all these ideas about robots and following you around in cameras, and what it would be like to have a good AI versus a bad AI, an unrestricted AI, as it were. And it really dives through all the thing, and we're living this now to a very large extent when it's tracking you around. Like, the cameras are doing it. Like, this is here. It's happening, and they feed you the information that they want you to see, right? I don't think that people really get this or truly understand this. That's why it's like so weird. Flocking to my weenies? What do you mean flocking to your... I don't know what that means, and I'm scared to ask what it means, okay? Yeah. So... it says, there's also a deeper structural problem. Every act of resistance that happens on the platform, including posting a Dead Signal meme, feeds the system. The algorithm does not care whether your content is pro-platform or anti-platform. It cares that you are generating engagement. Moral outrage and dissonance are some of the highest octane fuels it runs on. So the meme spreads, the platform profits, and the spread in behavioral data from everyone who reads and reacts to it gets harvested. The countermeasure basically becomes the mechanism. And this is the same thing that we saw within the Cicada 3301 puzzles, and how they used memes, or the meme of the cicada became a meme to basically get people to dive this. So, they were harvesting data at all angles when people were doing that puzzle, and people forget or don't realize how interconnected that puzzle was with other things, the think tanks and stuff. And I've explained it to you multiple times on how it really was, but I don't think that people really truly understand it. And, I've been thinking about this since before it was fashionable to think about. This shit used to keep me up at night. It still does, to be honest with you. But back in 2016, 2017, when we were involved with the Opera Create program, which stood for crowdsourcing, evidence, reasoning, augmentation, the stated goal was to build a platform that crowdsourced human reasoning to identify disinformation and misinformation from vile talkers before they spread. Why did we get selected to do something like that? I don't know. Seems kind of weird. Where we selected, we just went to a website, we signed up for it, right? But there was people in my chat that were telling me to go sign up for it. So in a sense, like the Truman Show, like a PSYOP, people are pushing you into doing certain things. And sure, I didn't do too much with it. I didn't ever make it into the later rounds of it, but it doesn't matter nonetheless. All of the information and data that I provided by just simply live streaming it was a legitimate, made it seem like it was a legitimate tool for fighting the information war, because we had been fighting this conspiracy information wars, the flat earths, the fucking aliens, the everything. We've been fighting this stuff since before 2010, right? And the only one that we like and we meme on is the 11/11 one, because it says some really nice shit that you motherfuckers need to hear about, because y'all need Jesus. Anyways. Just to think, at the time, it felt like a legitimate tool for fighting an information war. But what I understood now is that what we were actually doing was training the automated system that replaced us. We were the labeled data. The human reasoning layer got crowdsourced. The patterns got extracted. Now the same function runs automatically without any human in the loop. We do not get a vote on what gets flagged, what gets suppressed, or what gets amplified. The decision has been fully automated. The training data came partly from people like me who thought they were fighting the problem. And that's what I've been trying to do for a better part of now 16 years, right? We've been fighting this shit for 16 years, trying to teach people by using any means necessary to take people out of the live action role plays, to take people out of the LARPs. And what did the machine do to us? It made us the LARP. It made us the villain. It did all of this to change how people view you, how people interact with you. Even the amount of reach that you get on a platform where you used to sit at 300 on a day, no problem, to barely being able to eke out a percentage point of it. And what it really is psychological warfare, dude, and mimetic warfare, where now you have to have the perfect meme, plus you have to actually toe the line for the robot to the extent that it's actually going to push your content. That's the real dead signal. That's the real dead internet theory that everybody talks about. And everything else that we're looking at is, just an artifact of it. Just to even put this out there, the thing, since, like the quartering, Jeremy, the quartering. Also, make sure you guys go out there and follow Mr. Harry Katz. I'm sure he'd love some new subscribers. Real interesting character. Very smart man. Can't really say anything bad about him. Hopefully I don't ever have to. But, we look at the quartering with this 2 million subscribers, and he's head and neck deep into this bullshit to the point where he ain't getting no views, dude. He's getting striked on his shorts because he's jacking other people's content and just putting a blurb at the front of it. The guy's got 2.9 million subscribers, yet what's the percentage on these views? 22K views, 17K views, 45K views, 18K views, 21K views. Like, bro, what the fuck? Are you real? Hi. So if I have a YouTube channel with 2.9 million subscribers and I'm only getting 22K views to 45K views, what's the percentage of viewership? We'll ask Google because, they own YouTube, so maybe they'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, to calculate the ratio, this is what you need to do. You need to divide 22,000 by 2.9 million. Okay, that's one. Oh, wow. That's actually, sorry. Oh, I had to fix that. Oh, can you recalculate that, boss? Recalc that with this number of subs, because we want to be accurate. Sorry, didn't mean to yell at the robot. I mean, I yell sometimes. It's just fine. It's just the way that it goes. But if we look at the numbers, the revised viewership status, think about this. 2.9 million subscribers, and he's currently sitting in between a 1% to 2% viewership ratio. That's crazy. Yeah. But according to the Gemini, it says the upper bound 2.15 crosses the typical 2 to 10% baseline for organic long-form uploads on established channel and is still on the lower side, but touching 2% means a solid chunk of your core audience is still tuning in when the topic or title lands right. I mean, you gotta ask yourself, like, if you're Jeremy, you sold everything, you're doing all of this, you got 3 strikes on shorts to the point where if you get 3 copyright strikes in a row, your channel goes down immediately. If you have over a certain amount of subscribers or you're a part of the YouTube partner program, you get a 7-day grace period to basically file copyright strikes or talk to a priest or whatever the fuck to get it off. So, like, there's a pretty good chance that, I mean, he obviously filed the counter notifications, to be real with you. So, like, he's not going to lose his channel. But at that point, basically, that's like the wake-up call, right? You get 3 of those things in a row, you're done, dude. And if you don't put those copyright counter notifications and they don't get accepted fast enough, your ass is gone. And your years of work, your 2.5 million subscribers, whatever the heck, just goes away instantly. We went through that, but for us, it wasn't even like that. You know, we didn't have to do the copyright strikes. We just got hit directly out. So, you know, he's got at least a saving grace, right? I didn't even get set to 7 days, and I'm part of the program. So, you know, think about that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But regardless of anything here, it's like Jeremy was just basically starting out in 2017, but he had been manipulating the algorithm and towing the line for a really long time until he wasn't. And then he kept on getting himself into problems and troubles. And now he's got the internet machine after him because he's become, you know, a woke owl, right? Or at least that's what the terminology that people are using now. Yet that terminology definitely has a source, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't be running around and saying that, or just throwing it around it so cavalierly, because, I mean, the people that came up with it will fuck you up. You know what? You either got to be boring enough for them to not give a fuck about you, or not be fucking hilarious enough to poke at. You know what, as it were? I don't know. But even then, it's all a loop. It's all a loop. It's all a loop. It's all a loop. You know, think about this. So what would actually work? I keep coming back to Metal Gear Solid 2 because Kojima mapped this out in the 2001 like nobody took it seriously. The SD plan was not about controlling what people think right now. It's about controlling what information survives into the future so that all future reasoning happens within a pre-filtered archive. The Patriots, they are not censors, they are archivists. Yes, they are archivists. The practical version of that is not data deletion. It's behavioral inconsistency at scale. The psychometric twin they build on you is not based on what you post. It's based on how you behave while consuming the scroll velocity, the hover time, the gap between what you click and what you linger on. And if long enough coordinated group deliberately behaved in ways that contradict the inferred profile, not randomly, but structured ways, the predictive model degrades. But you're not poisoning it. You're just making the twin unreliable as a targeting instrument, and they're just going to find something else to use. They're going to find something else to get you with. And that's, like, where we're at. Like, regardless of what you think is going on or what you think is happening, the reality here is that, you know, we're living in a new age, in an age that's just fucking scary, where you could literally be allegedly at the top of your game and still fucking losing every single goddamn day. And why is that? Nobody knows. I mean, you could be Anthony Fauci at this point. I mean, how similar are Fauci and Not very. Not very. But You know, let's just look at what Trump says.
The Fifth Amendment more than 100 times today. Yeah. Senator Rand Paul said he's going to hold a vote on holding him in contempt of Congress. Do you think Dr. Fauci should face repercussions for this?
Well, I watched the whole thing today, but more importantly, I was a part of
the whole thing.
Fauci.
Shouldn't you been doing president shit? I thought, weren't you meeting with fucking Bibi or something?
I inherited Fauci. He was here from the 1980s, so I had him for a period of time. And I disagreed with him on a lot. I would have had to close down the whole country if I listened to him. I went the Federalist way, which is basically to let the governors decide. And generally speaking, the Republican governors did very well. The Democrat governors did not very well. But Fauci wanted to have nobody wearing masks, if you remember, and then everybody had to wear 5 masks, as many masks as you could get. I mean, made a lot of mistakes. And he wasn't a big factor for me. He was a very big factor for Biden. We ran it well. Operation Warp Speed was talked about as being one of the great success stories anywhere in the world, actually. And we did a good job. COVID was a disaster, but Fauci did not help.
Yeah, COVID was a disaster, but Fauci didn't help. That's where he went with that one. That's where he went with that one. That's where he went. Mm-hmm. Think about this. The more that we look into these like interesting little things, the easier it is and the easier it becomes to understand that, you know, manipulation comes in a lot of different forms. And every piece of content that you watch, regardless of whether it's just some benign, what you think is some type of benign live stream, everything serves some kind of purpose, whether it's some benign purpose like promoting a video game or something like that, to just somebody getting money from you. You really got to understand that we're not living in the same digital world that we lived in just 6 years ago. Like, everything has changed. And is it for the better? Probably not. I mean, at this point, we're just reinventing the same things that we've already had. Case in point, X money. Did you know that X has money now? Yeah, that's right. X has money. You got X money you can get on there. You can send people money. You know what it really sounds like? It sounds like PayPal. That's what it sounds like. Because that's what it is. It's basically PayPal for Twitter. And I have it. Right? I signed up. I got the card. I got free $15. I took Elon Musk for $15. Sick. But yeah, I'm only getting 4 APY. But it's saying that my card will arrive on the 5th. I'm getting one of those metal cards. But I mean, I'm still worried about having X money to begin with, because like, what happens if you get banned or suspended? They're like, oh, if you get suspended, you can still use your X money account. You just can't use Twitter. And I'm just like, cool. But if you get suspended for like terrorism or certain types of harassment or abuse, then they'll just mail you a check, which I guess that's not like terrible. I mean, it's not great, but that's better than what fucking PayPal does. Because PayPal don't actually send you a check, dog. They make you wait for that shit for a real long time. I mean, I wouldn't know. Out of everything, PayPal did not fuck me over for some reason, and I still don't understand why. I'm just sitting there like, damn, Peter Thiel, I thought you didn't like me, bro. I mean, but apparently you're all right with me, because you know what? You never let them nuke me on that one, so, you know. You might be an evil motherfucking bastard, but thanks for that, dude. I mean, I get shit on and kicked and knocked into the ground and beat up all the time by shitty motherfucking dumbasses. So I appreciate that, PayPal. Thank you. Thank you for not fucking me over and realizing that I'm a good dude and a consistent one. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Sometimes when I fall down, I get a Fauci. That's so stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. Anyways, Nick Rekieta. Actually, no. I can go to Pretty Annie Solo. Pretty. I can go over to Homely Haley's fucking shit. Damn, bro. I can't believe they did her like that, bro. She be making money, though. She's at the top of the Dabbleverse, which I still don't understand what the fuck that is, but apparently it's a bunch of weirdos that follow around people that used to be on FM radio that now have YouTube shows and they make fun of them or whatever. And there's just like a ton of different people in this verse that be dabbling, but Like, there's a bunch of people in here that I know about. Somebody even said I was a part of the Dabbleverse, and I was like, I am not a fucking part of the Dabbleverse. I don't even fucking know what you're talking about. I thought that was like a gay dude gangbang or something like that. And now that I've understood what it actually is, I'm just saying, like, somehow it's even gayer, and I just don't even get it. But yeah, good old homely Haley be making all kinds of money out there. But she did post something about Nick Rekieta that really just rustled his jimmies a little bit. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yes, in the matter of Aaron Michael Inholt versus Rick Nicholas Robert Rekieta. Yeah. So, yeah, fucking Nick thought he was big, hot shit and thought he was going to get this HRO that Aaron filed against him denied and dismissed. And, yeah. All this posturing, all this making everybody fucking wait for fucking ever. Yeah, well, guess what? They denied him. They said, nah, bitch, you're going to court. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, not a lawyer, Nick. You disbarred piece of crap. You ain't going to fucking court. You ain't doing shit. And it's just like, okay. You know, okay. Okay. So, like, I think rolling through here or whatever, I think I actually did post some stuff. I should post that shit myself or whatever. I mean, look at this. We even got retweeted by the Phoenix Enigma. You remember that motherfucker? You remember that pale-ass son of a bitch with that witch and shit? The motherfucker. They hate it. She hates it when I call her a witch, that bitch a witch. But, I mean, it's just funny to say. Like, I don't actually mean it in a negative way. I mean, come on. Yep. The illusion of free choice. You want to be a Republican? You want to be a Democrat? Nah, dude. You all about Israel. Oh, here we go. Yes, another loss for Nicholas Rekieta. The judge knows your bullshit. It is not impressed. And yeah, that's basically what the document actually says. I mean, it's multiple pages. It's like 8 pages. And finally, something has happened in this case. They filed this case in 2025. It's fucking June 2026. July 2026. And finally, something happened. Like, nothing ever happens. Something fucking finally happens. And, I mean, it's a little sus, okay? I'm not gonna lie. You know, I don't know how Pretty Antisocial is getting these documents so fast. You know, she going to Minnesota and having somebody send it over to her. I don't know. She watermarks it and shit. It's almost like she's getting it directly from Nick. That's what some people say, but I don't know. But Nick actually replied to me right here. So, you know, he asked me a bunch of shit because, you know, obviously I tagged him because that's what I do. I tag people when I talk shit because that's what you do when you want to, you know, when you're a superstar, right? You don't play pussy games and not talk shit on the internet because that's what bitches do. That's what that makes you bitch made. And then when you start talking about what other people are talking about, crying about it, that also makes you bitch made. Just remember that. You're bitch made. So, we talked about the Galaxy gas and we made some fun. But yeah, here we go. Maybe we'll snap out of it and remember he's from Minnesota and not Tony Montana. Yeah, Tony Montana. That's what got him actually to say something. Because, I mean, if you haven't looked at what Nick has been looking like lately, let's just go. Rekieta Law. Here we go. Damn, he's still got 403,000 subscribers, dude. I'm beefing with people that I'm punching above my weight class so high, it's not even funny, dude. I take people out with 2 million motherfucking followers. You really think that I give a fuck that I'm a little low B with less than 10 million? They call me the giant killer for a reason because I be destroying giants. I be destroying motherfuckers. Shit. Oh, death of 1,000 cuts your ass over 2 years until you fucking pop. Thanks, Jeremy. Anyways, did I do that? No. Am I just taking credit for it? Probably. Right? No, don't you remember I owned a fleet of black SUVs and I drug people and wiped their memories and shit? Isn't that what somebody said about me on the internet? I mean, Nick is actually getting relatively better views than Jeremy, which is insane to think about because, I mean, he gave his kid drugs apparently or allegedly, or was it his wife? I don't know. His daughter tested positive for more cocaine than a person should be doing. He went to jail for said possession of that because he pled guilty to that. And, you know, he's on his way and he's on his road to recovery, I guess, is really where, is it were. But, you know, in between all of this stuff, he's still fighting in court with Aaron Imhol, and he seems to think that talking about Aaron, his penis, and constantly discussing him on the internet and then saying my free speech is going to protect him in this lawsuit. And I mean, it was a pretty good indication that it wasn't. And to the fact that he'd actually come and answer to the fat shit that is sitting before you, like, it really should give you some understanding as to, you know, how bad things are actually going. Because he says, so who came out of this motion in a better position than they went in, and who came out worse? And I said, well, you literally lost your motion to dismiss, Nick. The judge accepted Aaron's brief, blamed you and your lawyers for dragging this out for months, and told you to go write your own brief. Getting a homework extension is not the flex that you think it is. I mean, that's what's just wild to me. Like, he's supposed to be a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I've never claimed to be a lawyer. You know, everybody knows I just claimed that I passed the bar for fun. And that's right, I did. I mean, it's just kind of weird, you know, like this doesn't seem like a way of winning. And his response is the MTD was a long shot since we're still within the deadline. Opposing counsel lost his ability to reply, which is just kind of like ridiculous to think about because that's not what the judge says in the fucking documents. That says that it said that the lawyer had to request to file another brief because every time people keep filing more and more motherfucking briefs, it pushes the case out because, you know, he's already got 69 pages and 70 pages, and then, you know, you guys are going to keep throwing shit up there until it's just like 400 motherfucking pages of screenshots that the judge has got to go through, and he just wants to go fucking eat noodles at his favorite shop. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to deal with that shit. It's not something that he wants to deal with, but he has to. And me having to say may not reply without leave of court does not mean Aaron lost the ability to reply. It means that he needs the judge's permission to reply with another brief. You're the one whose MTD got denied. Aaron's brief was accepted. Try not to confuse a homework extension with passing a class, which is really just kind of like where we're at. Like, does he think that he's going to be able to get this thing shut down? I mean, they fucked Aaron pretty hard, to be pretty bluntly. I mean, they got his ass arrested. He got thrown in jail for revenge porn. He allegedly broke that revenge porn thing because they invited him to an event and started talking about this girl while he was sitting there when he obviously did not want to discuss any of this, and they did it on purpose so that they could get him thrown into jail, which he actually got thrown into jail for. And then, you know, his response was, well, I'm going to get a fucking restraining order against this guy because, I mean, he won't stop talking about my dick, and, you know, he's just saying all kinds of ill shit about me when, you know, these two guys were lovers, right? They were lovers, man. Nick was a lover. Nick and Aaron were lovers. This is a lover's quarrel. Yeah, you think they were just sharing them women? I don't think so. You look at Nick. You really telling me that this dude ain't a little metro? You know what I'm saying?
Heard her admit it again.
You don't think this guy's a little metro? That's not even what he looks like anymore. I mean, just think about this. This is when he used to dress up. Like, you know, he had the Tony Stark thing going. He had his hair slicked over. He seemed like he was just like a put together motherfucker. And now, you know, like, why does this all say 1 month ago? What the hell? Wasn't the Johnny Depp trial like months ago? Like years? Hey, what the fuck? 2 months ago? This is look at him now. Like, seriously, she's dressed like a fucking mob boss and shit. Like, what the fuck? Nick, I don't think that you're in charge of the mafia anymore, Tony Nictana. But seriously, it's just like, you used to be like the #1 YouTube lawyer. You created LawTube, and now this is where you're at. I mean, you're still doing arguably better than good old what's his name? Arguably, we should do the math on that before I actually fucking say anything, because I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm the first guy that'll admit that it'd be wrong. But let's see. We'll go with 13K, because that's the last video he posted a month ago. But if we go to the live stream, oh, he's actually live right now. He's got 742 people watching. Can you believe that shit? That's crazy, dude. So he's seemingly doing pretty good. 742 after 403,000. Still be able to get 17K on his videos. You got to say, maybe he's actually doing pretty good. Maybe he's actually doing pretty good. I mean, his channel's back on the up and up, but, you know, there's still the matter that he might actually, you know, actually have to stop talking about Aaron, which is going to be, I think, would be positive for him, because right now, him not talking about him seemingly is getting him a lot more views just by scrolling through this thing. I mean, you would have thought that we would get some more from Joseph actually testifying in court, but yeah, dude. You think that suit has a secret coke pocket? I mean, maybe. I mean, he could have a secret coke pocket in that shirt, but he's a fan of bullets. People with bullets usually put that shit in their pocket, unless he's got like a bullet pocket in there somewhere. Right. Nah, dude. Just gotta roll around with the bag, son. You don't want metal. You don't want the metal on you. You don't want that. So, I guess it is what it is. Just thinking about this. I mean, just all these people of interest, dude. Persons of interest. You know, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Invoking the Fifth Amendment more times. I mean, so many times. I mean, legendary for doing so. Legendary for doing so. You've just never seen a rat try to protect himself and keep himself out of jail. You've just never seen him try that hard. And we all got to watch it live. But even then, it's a show. Right? It's a show. It's all manufactured. One side, red versus blue, all over the place. And I mean, ultimately, you know, what happens? Where do we get if we actually, you know, get what we want? And the question is what the fuck do we want? We want this guy to go to jail? Because, I mean, they're not going to put him in jail for the rest of his life. They're going to slap him on the wrist. They're going to give him a year. They're going to give him 6 months, you know. They're going to hold him in contempt of court. But are they going to do or be able to do anything else to him? I mean, you think they're going to give this guy the death penalty? I mean, what do you say? What do you think? What do you do? You know, Jeremy, the quartering. This guy got copyright struck 3 fucking times on shorts. Had to remove him off his channel. At the same time, still posting them up, but could happen at any fucking second, right? And what is he doing? Well, he's just trucking along, right? He just keeps moving it along. Same thing with Nick. Like, he could take losses in the court of public opinions and in the court of the law. And I mean, sure, okay, so he can't just get out of this after, after making this thing drag out for months because he wanted to be able to go to Hackamania 2 and talk his bullshit, you know. Was it really worth it is the question that I'd have to ask, right? Do you think that it's worth it? Because I don't think all that shit was worth it. I mean, Nick would have already been well past probably 2 million subscribers if he never got caught with drugs, right? But that's what happens when you get on that stuff. You get sloppy, right? You're a sloppy motherfucker. Eventually, it takes hold of your life, and then you got to replace it with something else, and then something else, and then something else, and it's just a seriously bad spiral. I mean, some people can't get out of it, and it seems like he's trying, but he's not trying effectively. He's just doing it because the court ordered him to do it, and he's just doing the bare fucking minimum so that he can get on with his good-ass life. But you know what? Now everybody's going to be talking all that shit and calling him Coquita. I mean, whose fault is that? That's your fault, right? Whose fault is it? And all my shit. It's my fault because I tried. That's it. It's your fault. You suck. Deal with it. It's really not a problem. At the end of the day, what else are you going to do is the real question to think about for the future. A lot of people don't think about this stuff. A lot of people don't ask about this stuff. A lot of people don't realize that they could be a person of interest. You know, I deal with streamers a lot, and a lot of them are egotistical assholes, right? Who try to do good by people, but it's in their brains. All of them are the same. They all have the same thoughts and ideas. They all play the same games, and it is what it is, right? You can't really argue with it. You can't really change it. You just have to roll with the punches, right? And we've learned this about people over the years as we've just interacted with folks on the internet in some of the most playfully honest ways. And what can you really say to those people? Can you change their minds? Can you change their hearts? Can you change their understandings? And the answer is a definitive fuck no. And that's what it always is going to be. You know, it's what it's always going to be. Ignore. Somebody trying to add me. Yeah, motherfucker. Don't want that shit. Don't want that shit now. That's all right, though. Even to think about this, I think that's like pretty good. We kind of wrap that all together. Right? We got person of interest. We got Anthony Fauci. We got the quartering in there. We talked about the GW4. So, like, what are we going to do for the weekend? Well, honestly, we got to check to see how that queue is going to be. Right? I mean, I don't want to waste time or whatever. I've been pumping myself up to play in this event. I thought it was going to be one way, but I guess I got to go do something else. So probably just going to end up playing solo, maybe building a nice little farm and just hanging out to see what the fuck happens, walking around, maybe doing some news, just checking people out and doing interviews, make it like a man on the street thing. Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to end up doing. And then, you know, if I run into, you know, anybody I don't like, I'm just going to DB them in the face. No big deal. No big deal. Because, I mean, honestly, when you disrespect the champ like that, you're going to get what coming to you, son. Oh, shit. It's that synthetic rebellion, guys. Everybody fucking pack it up, dog. Synthetic. We got the robots fucking here. Get the fuck out of here right now. But yeah, sorry, Seth. We're basically done because, you know, I got to go to sleep because I got to work tomorrow. But yeah, I just got to go to work tomorrow. I don't have anything important to do. I can just go home and go to sleep and then just chill the fuck out. Yep, that's what we're going to end up doing. Going to end up being lame. But that's okay. We tried. I mean, Fauci tried. He tried to save the United States, and look what they're doing to his head. Poor Fauci. All of that bad shit happened, and now he's having to go to Congress again and plead the fifth, and everybody's making fun of me because I had to plead the fifth 111 times because I didn't answer even simple-ass questions like, what color is your tie? What color is this carpet? And what is today? I mean, dude, when you got to plead the fifth on what color is your tie, what day is it today, your life sucks, bro. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I get. Your life sucks. Like, seriously. We're talking like ultra suck. I mean, 3 different individuals, all of them men, all in their life, in some way their life sucks. And then you got me, who's been proving to you consistently for at least the last 10 years that it does not matter how good you do. Shit is just always going to suck. Oh yeah, the news on Arturo. I guess we could talk about that one. Grilled salmon. I plead the fifth. Yeah, right. Okay, synthetic rebellion. You're still all right in my book. I know you hate me, but so yeah. Arturo. Yes, the Arturo playbook. the Arturo thing. So yeah, I had to boil this down, but I fed it through multiple AIs and really got it down. But yeah, the news is Arturo's a LARPing loser. He can go fuck himself. Yep, that's exactly right, bro. This is exactly right. I look at this guy and I just wonder, like, does he think that I'm fucking stupid? Does he think I'm gonna fall for this shit the 10th fucking time? He went ahead and blocked me already. And why did he block me? I don't know. Because Thomas stopped talking to him? Because I was talking to Laura Dilley? I told him in the first place, it's like, I'm not going to not talk to anybody. I'm just going to be straight up and just say, like, fuck you. Whatever. Fuck you. Whatever. You don't get views unless somebody gives them to you. So suck a little dick. Oh, failure. I'm not a failure. I'm a winner. I can pull them easy. I can pull them easy and make that money. I can grift them pretty good. That's what they tell me. That's why I run the Griftcast. #1 grifter on the internet. Nobody grifts better than me. I made that up. But yes, good old fucking Lestat. So yeah, he blocked me again, but he actually made what I consider to be a substantially huge mistake for him. Right? Because I was already threatening to take him to court in Mexico because I know where he stay at now. And, I was just like, look, man, you've been doing a lot of shit that's basically against the law in your country. I know it's Mexico, but you still have laws, and I can still take you to court for these things. And, to the point of what you've done so far is more than enough for me to go to court with you, but you just keep giving me more. And that's what happened today. He actually had posted some actual information. He posted some Gmails, right? Gmails between him, Marcia Stockton, and a bunch of other stuff that basically shows him trying to create narratives with Thomas. Arturo asked Thomas directly, can we agree on the Victoris Libertas FBI non-connection? This is not two people independently arriving at conclusions. This is two people synchronizing a story before they publish it. Thomas responds with his motive in plain text. I'm just making sure he's not going to be in the documentary. He's not ready for prime time. Documentary? What documentary? Is there a documentary that's happening? I mean, I haven't heard about it. I feel like, if somebody was making a documentary on you, Thomas, you would be talking about it to everybody, but I haven't heard. I mean, you had me blocked, so I can't see anything that you say anyway. But even on your YouTube account, I haven't seen anybody talking about this. So, like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Are you talking about, like, when I fucking cried and was talking to a guy that we found out that was also connected to Epstein? Is that guy? But yeah. Apparently, Thomas thinks that he has the power to manipulate people to certain extents that if they're making documentaries about him, he can select who's going to appear in it and who's not going to appear in it. Their goal is not truth, and the goal is not research. The goal is exclusion, reputation destruction, narrative control, coordinated between a man under a court order and his willing proxy. Right? Arturo put information out that the guy that I got restraining orders against, or protective orders as they're called in Nevada, against, and beat him when he tried to get one on me, by the way. So that gives me 2 wins on the case. Yeah, 2 wins. 2 wins. What's up, Doc Matrix? Haven't seen you in a while. Fauci is a funny little goblin. He should have been in a Jim Henson film. Yep. Yeah, see, no one cares about Lestat. He has a main character syndrome. That's true. Synthetic Rebellion, he does have main character syndrome. Me, not me. I just like to be the backup character or whatever. I just want you to remember, though, that I am cooler than you, and you better treat me right. But, interesting. Synthetic Rebellion, performing the same people he had a vendetta against for years. You can't write this shit. You're right. You can't. But you can. Here it is right here. You wrote it. What's up, ARG Ninja? Grilled Salmon says documentary, probably for Vice again. No. I mean, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but yeah, it's not for Vice. It's for somebody that owns Vice. But yeah, maybe. We don't know. It probably won't ever come out. I mean. So, Thomas admits his own fabrications in the same thread. Jim Blake and I were LARPing while he was gaining an audience. I even introduced him to Robert David Steele, who paid them $200 a week. Yeah. So, good on you there, Arturo, for sharing your email about Thomas, where he basically admits to being involved with directly the FBI and on LARP, because you remember Victor's Libertas and them were posting a lot of videos about that. One of the main sources for the FBI and on leaks outside of 4chan, kind of weird when, Jim Blake is like an old man who never had any reason to go to 4chan in the fucking first place. But yeah, hearing that RDS is paying them $200 a week and Jim Blake and Thomas Schoenberger were actively LARPing, knowing that it was a calf pitch, yeah, they just had a little bit of fun. Interesting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, this guy has said multiple occasions, multiple times, multiple things that, he never did that. But, now we actually have direct email evidence, Gmail format that says that he did. And then, he admits to faking personas, running LARPs, profiting on fabricated narratives. In the very same email where he confesses to all this, him and Arturo are constructing a new lie to pin on someone else. And obviously that someone else is me, because I am forever the pincushion for the shitheads of the world for some reason. I don't know. Maybe God just likes giving me his artist battles. But you know what? Hey. Eventually, I'll be on top, and when I'm on top and those little people try to come over to me and get some of my steez, I'm going to fucking elbow them in the face. Anyways, so the next execution, the Twitter delivery mechanism. Within days of this private email coordination, Arturo posted a thread on July 2nd making the exact claims they rehearsed in the emails. He tagged multiple accounts, coordinated replies with an account called Twitter, and constructed a narrative claiming that Manny and Jib paid me to go with DeFango's lie, and Chavez's platform was used for Q-related operations, when, in fact, it was not utilized for those operations whatsoever, right? He did this while blocking the target on both accounts to ensure no direct rebuttal could appear in the same thread. This is not an debate. This is not a disagreement. This is coordinated information operations designed to defame without allowing a response. You gotta think about that. Right? The way these things work, the way these people do these things is all the same. It doesn't matter if Thomas is pure evil, like Grilled Salmon says. It doesn't take a pure evil person to do this kind of stuff. It just takes an asshole. This is no different than getting a Discord message that's unceremoniously removes you from something that you've worked your ass off on, because somebody else's ego got hurt because they're never going to be as cool as you. It doesn't matter, right? I'm never the main character in the story. I'm the side character like Forrest Gump that just ends up in all those places that everybody thinks is a little retarded. Yeah, that's me. So, interesting. The blocking strategy, a closed ecosystem of lives. By Arturo blocking DeFango and Tofoyeski and Cheshire, this is not incidental. When you block someone and post defamatory claims about them, you are deliberately constructing a space where your audience cannot see the other side. You're manufacturing consensus by eliminating contradiction. This is the behavior of someone who knows their claims cannot survive scrutiny. And that's interesting. What's up, Eureka? Nice to see you. The same thing has happened with me and that group of Libby Shaw and Zantig and all those other people I were telling you about that brought me in. They're doing the same kind of information ops that Arturo and Thomas do, and all these people go way back. Like, some of them go way farther back than I've ever met any of them, right? For a majority of these people, I was introduced to them in 2018, 2019, and ever since being associated or even meeting them, I've just discovered some of the most insane shit unimaginable, and that's just on top of what's happened with the cicada people, as it were. So, sufficient evidence has existed for a long time of active coordination for a while. The pattern of behavior, the timing of posts, the synchronized narratives, the involvements of court-ordered individuals through proxies. It's been documented over years, but the emails that were released remove any remaining ambiguity that they're not circumstantial. They're not inferred. They are Thomas and Arturo, in their own words, on their own email accounts, coordinating the exact narratives that appeal publicly in a platform days later. The evidence isn't just sufficient, it's overwhelming. We got them hook, line, and sinker, dude. Take that to a judge and be like, this is what I've been having to deal with for a better part of 8 to 9 years. Right? Well, I'm just trying to be me. Or whatever this is. Right? This used to be really good. And now it just is. So, one of these days it might be real good to end. But so far, we're going to be the best, worst thing that's out there. And, it's just like Arturo hasn't been credible for a while. I mean, his credibility problems have been publicly identified by stealing approximately $50,000 from Laura Dilley. And another person that Arturo also attacks, the same individual who positions himself as a credible researcher and a dossier writer, has unresolved theft allegations against him and attacks Dilley with the exact same pattern. Discredit anyone that exposes him. That's what the guy does, right? So, maybe he's trying to do good by releasing this email and showing that he was, in fact, working with Thomas to create new narratives, and got pissed off because, I dared to retweet something that Dilley had said. This is the type of shit that we're dealing with. These are the type of people that we deal with. It's not just in a little space, too. You deal with like this all over the place. It doesn't matter who it is or where it is. Everybody wants to be number one. Nobody can just have the real number one hanging out. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look for them. A person who is defeated twice in court and is under a protective order is actively coordinating via email with the proxy that has been conducting an 8-year harassment campaign. They're synchronizing narratives in private and publishing them in public. They're blocking the target to prevent rebuttals. They're timing their campaign to interfere with documentary productions. This is not a disagreement between Fortner associates. This is a documented, coordinated defamation conducted in the violation of the spirit, if not letter, of existing court orders. We've been saying this, and now you can read it in their own words. The emails are referenced in their articles or preserved in their original format. I'm not going to click it open because it needs to be redacted, but let's see. Did he remove it? Yeah, he did. But yeah, this is what we have it. And that was those original emails, December 6th, way after all of this goes down. I've never had this email, right? But there you go. Private, he, from the Stig to the well-traveled folks, QAnon speaks, end of days prophecy, and yeah, well, look at that, dude. Now, YouTube investigator DeFango, along with 4chan members of Bit and Torrent of Tier, talk to our team a bit about some Anons who confirmed QAnon is some direct intel from all sorts of places, including the DoD, Intel Services, and the White House. And what is that? Follow the white rabbit. So wait, you mean what I was saying all those years ago when I released that email that he had sent to that lady to try to make her think that he was actually behind all of this stuff? Well, I was right when I said that he wasn't, and I was also right when I was saying that he made it up that he was. And he was going around telling people that he was, and he was running other YouTube channels with far larger audiences to say, well, it's right in front of you, almost verbatim of what came out in those videos all those years ago. And it's right there for you to see. You got to think. I had said that he wasn't involved because I knew he wasn't involved because I knew it was another group. But then come to find out, even those members of that group know exactly who this dude is. Think about that. Think about it. They're so stupid, right? Like, you got to give them. And where does this go? More AI slop from Arturo talking about his own defense and how he's trying to take down this guy. But is he really trying to take down this guy, or is he just basically trying to hit both of his targets by bringing all this shit back up because he knows that all of these things that the guy we've already pointed to was involved in are coming back up because people are putting Seth Rich into the zeitgeist again. Are they not? They are. They definitely are. So, it's just interesting. Behind the scenes coordination. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. Thomas explicitly states his motivation to get me taken out of a documentary. They synchronize the story. He openly admits to faking and being involved with multiple different online internet conspiracy ranging from FBI on to QAnon to Cicada, and pivots the blame from his own admissions and basically tries to put it over on me, saying that I'm PDAnon, I'm this person, it was all me, it was not him, he didn't have anything to do with it, right? And it all revolves around Q, microchip, the liar projections, the information silos that they create by blocking you on the internet, talking about certain people, undeniable history of LARPs. I mean, this is really what it all is. And now we've looked at 4 different people, 4 different things, right? That are all following basically the same type of narrative construction, right? It doesn't matter, the Fauci thing is very similar to this, right? Because I'm sure eventually we're going to figure out that, there was people that were doing the exact same thing during the Rona period of everything that were also intermixed in with all of these other LARPs. And it gets back down to basically saying, like, it's a dangerous place that we're living in, to the point of which that it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done. If you piss off a group of people enough or just slightly, you're always basically going to lose. I mean, how can you fight a 51-on-1 fight? How can you fight 10-on-1? Right? Eventually, the internet a long time ago realized that if you have enough people that will just agree to support each other in things without asking too many questions, you could make things go viral on the internet. We're not really seeing a difference here. We're just seeing how the process operates. And then we're looking at various different characters on the internet where all these tactics and operations have been utilized, where it's been me. So I have a personal understanding of how this stuff works. And then we can look at other characters on the internet who have imploded or have destroyed themselves, even though they've had the information how to not make this happen to them for how many years? So essentially, you really got to start asking yourselves, is it even safe to really, truly be on the internet? It's not like you can just delete your profiles and disappear, irregardless if you do that. Even if you were to get rid of your cell phone, the second that you walk out of your house, I mean, you could probably find a flock camera, right? And these flock cameras are fucking everywhere. So even if you're not connected and hooked up, it's not like they're still not going to be able to find you, track you, see where you were. And I mean, it doesn't matter how many places reject or deactivate their cameras, there's still going to be places that are utilizing it. We live in the post-digital world, and we exist in a place where the truth is stranger than fiction. People lie, cheat, and steal more than they would like to admit, and essentially everything has just become a weird narrative of somebody trying to do something better than somebody else, somebody trying to be better than somebody else, but essentially you can't really do that anymore. You can't be better. All you can do is, I guess, remove some obstacles. This is the 11/11 message for today. Out of Alabama in the US of A, October 30th in 2014, back when Fauci was first apparently starting his shit, the subject was removing obstacles. And it was delivered by your thought adjuster. That thing inside of you that talks to you sometimes. Many times you have read ancient and modern authors and suspect that they were inspired by supernatural agents. Often this has been the case. And not only in matters related to spirituality, but also in many other ideas touching different areas of human life. Let us now consider this communication can be facilitated and what the requirements are for effective communication. Grilled Salmon, thanks for that $4.99 super chat, man. We appreciate that money. That is definitely going straight to buying Lunchy some steaks. We appreciate that shit. We appreciate that shit, dog. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I can't actually hear it. I don't have it playing in my ear for some reason. But yeah, dude, a freaking thing went off, dude. We actually got a grift off, dude. $5, son. $5. I like $5. I like $5. There's other streamers out there that do this for a living and quit their job that don't make $5. That's hilarious. Anyways, the first requirement is the ability to listen to celestial teachers and to be able to establish a transcendental contact beyond the material realm with the idea and truths one wishes to know. We declare that the only thing needed for this is a normal human mind. Therefore, everyone who meets this requirement has the capacity to establish this connection. The only thing that can prevent it are these false human expectations and mistaken ideas that may be held in the human mind. For example, if someone expects to hear the voice of God like thunder on a mountain, or expects to witness Hollywood-style special effects with lightning and flashes, that person will be disappointed. If someone seeks to establish a connection with the desire to gain a selfish advantage over others, the expected results will not be obtained. But for everyone who is sincere and in the desire to draw closer to the Father and learn more about the origin and destiny, then the doors are open, provided they process the discipline to master their own mind in such a way that they can receive and accept new ideas. Another thing that effectively blocks contact with the celestial teachers is the beliefs that have been instilled in your mind since birth. Many sincerely believe that it is impossible to converse with God. They will not even attempt it. Even if they happen to receive something, they will ignore it and dismiss it because they know such a thing is impossible. Those who are bound in this way by their dogma and self-limiting beliefs find it very difficult to overcome this condition. They are even at a disadvantage compared to those who do not believe in God at all. For the latter may receive spiritual influences and take them into account as their own ideas, whereas those subject to dogma find it very difficult to adopt new ideas if they conflict with what they believe in. Everyone is only ever 2 months away from slurring and falling asleep on live stream, teeth falling out, and wearing a pirate hat. Bro, Doc Matrix, are you fucking talking shit about, what's his name? Styx Hexenhammer? Fucking bitch. Is that Styx that you're talking about? Or are you talking about Ethan Ralph? I mean, I feel like that could be either of them, dude. Anyways, back to the good message. As you can see, the issue is not possessing the talent, but rather removing the obstacles that each person carries in their life and their personality in order to establish an effective working relationship with the celestial teachers and, above all, with their thought adjuster. Unfortunately, many in this world sincerely believe that distance between themselves and their Heavenly Father is insurmountable. They're the ones who would benefit the most from the example of lives that express truth, beauty, and goodness, just as Jesus lived 2,000 years ago. Dogma may resist contradictory ideas, but no human soul can fail to appreciate the manifestations of truth, beauty, goodness, love, without perceiving in these things the fragrance of the spirits and beholding them in ever clear images of the Father. Yeah. They say faith is a powerful thing, my friends. And, that's why I believe in the Lord. I believe that the Lord gives me all of these hard-ass battles because he's getting me ready for something. He hasn't let, the universe itself has not let me exist to take all of this beating to just have nothing happen. I just refuse to believe that, right? I refuse. But, this video right here, I think effectively puts it in to perspective. Is like, faith is not a thing that requires the understanding and onus of the Lord, right? If you just have the faith hard enough that you could do something, I mean, you might motherfucking be able to charge your phone on a piece of wood.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
Well, what?
What the?
What the?
What the fuck?
That's faith in action right there. You think faith ain't real, dude? This is the only time that you're ever going to see faith in action. Not faith in God. Not faith in anything else. Just the universe. Just being like, all right, man. That might not actually be a charge port, but we're going to let you charge your phone a little bit off of it anyway, just because, that dude behind you is an asshole for setting this shit up. He thought he was going to get you, and we got him. Think about that. Think about it. Faith is a weird thing. You can have faith in people. I try not to anymore. Because I constantly get disappointed, right? It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how much you've had to deal with to go through. It seems like this world cares more about imaginary numbers these days than the real numbers that exist in today. So I just want to thank all of you real numbers out there that be hanging out inside of my computer talking to me. I truly appreciate you and everything that you do. And God willing, I don't fall asleep with my teeth falling out with the pirate hat on my head like so many other lolcows have done in the past. Curiosity is an interesting thing. Faith is an interesting thing. Understanding the psychological operations that are happening to us on a daily basis and being able to center ourselves into reality is the only thing that can help an individual stay here, able to do it right. Because it seems like by the near future, a lot of this stuff that's been happening is just being conditioned into people or out of people to the point where the thought police aren't going to need to exist anymore, because just simply thinking the wrong thing is going to put you into a place, and they're not going to need a system anymore. They're not going to have to create the systems in order to understand that you just did that. They're just going to know. And who's going to know? The AIs and shit? I don't know, man. But what I do know is that this show is over. I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Who knows how long it's going to take me to get into the event, but once I'm in, I'm in. And I am not logging off for like 20 hours. If I got to do the lamest shit all day to do it, I don't care. But you know what? Yeah, we're going to be working tomorrow. We'll get off. We'll see how everything's going, and we'll just try to be cool. Because after the weekend's over, we got a freaking audit. We got to start working on CMMC. We got to finish building a new ISMS that's way better. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll still be working and making money and doing the good work. And, hey, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get an offer for another work at home job or something like that will fit more well into our schedule. However, I don't think that the Lord is ready for that. So we'll just have to see how everything goes. Either way, appreciate you guys coming through tonight. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be well, my friends. See you later. Have a nice one. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Share this with your friends or whatever. Either way, we're done for the day. Have a nice one. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, Mr. Grilled Salmon or Mrs. Grilled Salmon. Thanks for that $4.99 through Super Chat. Bye, ya Doc Rock. See you later, Eureka. Bye, ARG Ninja. See you later, Synthetic Rebellion. Have a good one, Mr. Blacksmith. Have a nice one, Chase Mail. See you later, Hold Your Horses 2026. Hope you have a pleasant evening, Mr. Mitch Candiano. And always a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Yickum24. Thanks a lot, Tweety Bird, for stopping by and showing your support. Always appreciate you being here, Mr. Yobi. And thanks a lot to Mr. J.R. Riggs for dropping in and saying what's up and pleading the fifth. Either way, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.